Eastern Time, Denver Live. Free picks for today's action, so make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. So we want you guys live with us, get the plays in real time, get the best numbers with the picks here that we give you here on the show. And of course, take part in our chat room. Shout out there to Blake. Good afternoon to Blake in there. Of course, you can also participate in our Discord with the link there as well in our chat to get to the Discord where the conversation continues. Well, I note a few of our promos here. You can save 20% off all pre-pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Always love to hear from you guys. You can post your picks in the comments. And we are a multi-capper site at Tony'sPicks.com, showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to some of our long-term passes. Nobody hotter in this industry like Ramon Scott here. For this year, 6,652 units of profit. That's based on a 100-unit wager. Top in our industry. Looking for all these multi-capper sites that document records. You're not going to see somebody better than this. Remember, we grade based on a $100 unit wager. Not a 1,000-unit wager, a 100-unit wager. So keep an eye there if you're comparing. Also, Hollywood Sam doing great. Ralph Raymond. Let's take a look at the last 30 days with Collins on top of leaderboards. Tiffany's been on fire last 7 days. Ralph coming in strong yesterday, as is Mindy and Ben Ruhala. You'll find our latest premium picks here, center of the page. Keep an eye on those best bets. Each capper can release a best bet from their card each day. We're locked and loaded here for action on a Tuesday. $15 premium pick is promotional. Each capper can designate a play from their card as a $15 premium pick. And there's their service to new and existing customers. Multi-packs offer great value as well. And if you prefer, you may go over to our pick ticker. If you like to buy the plays individually, we have team versus team information. You'll see this pick here flagged in green called late steam. We do allow our cappers to post late plays. If they post a play between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time, that play is emailed directly to long-term subscribers. That is part of the long-term subscription, whether it's 3, 7, a 30-day pass, or even a year pass. It's emailed directly to you on the late steam plays. The late plays, we're the only ones in this industry with that feature. So if you're interested, get ahead and get signed up to one of our long-term passes. Great value there. All right. It is a Tuesday. You know what Tuesday means. It's the entire pro rundown today from Ramon. We're covering NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball in that order here for Tuesday. Of course, there's no morning steam, but Ramon, we're going to give Ramon an opportunity, the platform here on Game Day Picks, to go ahead and go through every game on the board and give a pick as well. I'll have my pick at the end of the show, but I know you guys want Ramon's plays. He's the top handicapper in the industry. Who doesn't want Ramon's plays? My goodness, you have to want his plays. All right, let's go ahead and let's get underway here. We'll bring in Ramon Scott, who's been, as I said, top producer. I'm just saying the top producer in the industry. I don't see anybody with these document numbers better than Ramon anywhere. Bring him in right now. Ramon, how's it going?
Yeah, Tony, Derby week. A lot of excitement and watching some soccer action here. I can't believe I'm watching, Arsenal and Chelsea, and Chelsea is the big underdog against our man. How things have changed so far, but yeah, I'm getting ready to watch Real Madrid. I saw a pick there from Nick on the site. That game's just went on, set to go off. So at 1:00 my time. So good day here so far. A little tennis too.
Yeah, a lot of action here morning here. The lack of baseball. We're going to get to NBA here right now with Ramon. We'll start off with the NBA as we get into the playoffs here. And let's get here. It's beginning here with our rundown for Ramon here. It's our rundown here we do on Tuesday. So let's get started here with our first game tonight on TNT. Features the Heat and the Knicks. Heat up 1-0 in this series. We see that Knicks still a 6.5-point favorite. Total sits here at 208.
Yeah, game 2 in this one, Tony, with the Heat and the Knicks. We saw a great job so far, right, by the Heat. And take a look at what's happened on this total. I mean, it opened considerably higher, went all the way down to about 206.5, and now is back up. A little bit pressure here on the over. We saw it go over in game 1. Maybe not quite what I was expecting, but I'm going to have to jump on the bandwagon here in this one. Look, the Knicks maybe a little bit overrated here. Maybe, to me, Spoelstra is doing a great job. Look, I love what Jimmy Butler is doing. I mean, he's been one of the stars. Certainly, we've seen a handful of players really emerge here as the stars of the playoffs so far. The guys we expect. Butler certainly is one of them, but I really think that Spoelstra is doing a very, very credible job. I did talk bad about Budenholzer, but I'm going to retract those comments a little bit. I do think that Spoelstra did outcoach Budenholzer. We didn't know at the time that Budenholzer was dealing with some personal tragedy. I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack on that one. He's obviously done a great job with the Bucks. In this one, though, Tony, if I was wrong in the first one, I'm not going to be wrong in this one. I think I'm going to still come back with the over now in this one. I'm going to reverse field a little bit and figure that tempo may just repeat itself, because I think Spoelstra knows how to navigate through this a little bit. Whether or not they can keep it going all the way, I'm not sure. But this looks like a pretty good matchup all of a sudden for the Heat, despite their injury woes.
All right, Ramon says that go over 208 here with the Heat and the Knicks. Let's continue on here with Rundown here, joined by Ramon Scott. Next up, Ramon, well, it's the Western Conference round 2, a matchup between the Lakers and the Warriors. We've seen this line move up. It's been sitting about 4.5 when it opened. Now we see the Warriors up to 5. Total sits here 226.5 in game number 1.
Yeah, you wonder if the public's getting involved a little bit and taking that line up for the Warriors. I mean, it's the Lakers that are coming in more rested, certainly. The Warriors just had that emotional Game 7 victory over the Kings on the road. Amazing how that one worked out with the road teams winning in the last 2 games. Certainly in this one, but I'm going to be on another over here, actually. Even at this inflated number, I'm not sure that the Lakers have the defensive wherewithal, intensity. I'm not sure at this point. I mean, Davis is playing out of his mind, certainly, right now, but, that's not the Warriors game. They're not so much going to be concerned with him. Well, they are. You got to be concerned with him offensively too. Davis has been so great of late, and the Lakers. What can you say? I mean, they put it together tremendously. Hats off to their whole organization for getting this together. They're almost, kind of like in the Warriors. Both these teams, Tony, are 2 of those teams that, hey, when we get there, we'll be okay. The Warriors proved it last year. The Lakers want to prove it this year. I think we saw, it's funny, Tony, you saw some, more infighting a little bit with the Warriors. Poole, maybe he's the bad guy all of a sudden. He's arguing with one of the most popular assistant coaches in the league, if you will. And, we saw Draymond, of course, with him mixing it up or not mixing it up, kind of ignoring Poole the other night. So maybe the Warriors still have some problems internally, but they seem to put it all together against the Kings in that key game. I'm going to go over 226.5 though here. Free-spirited, freewheeling. That's the way I see it, especially Warriors coming off just a day's rest after the game against Sacramento. But at home, I think they'll be looking to fire away, if you will, and let's see how Steph does coming off that monster game. I don't know, Tony, the talking heads are like, oh, can we talk now about Curry being one of the all-time greats? What are they talking about? Just because he had this 50-point, he's one of the all-time greats. No matter what it does in this series, come on.
Ramon, the talking heads are just looking for content to fill, time to fill it. I've stopped really. I've learned over the years to just have monitors on with volume down, off completely. All right, Ramon here says over 226.5 here, Lakers and the Warriors. All right, Ramon. Everybody, let's take a look here at TonySpicks.com as we get the odds ready for the next sport. Ramon, let everybody know what you have going over at Tony's Picks as we put the record up there. You've been on fire here, top unit producer. I'm going to say in the industry, 6,650 units of profit for 2023. Show me someone documented with 100 unit based wagers better than this, and I'll give them props. I don't see anyone. So top unit producer in the industry, Ramon, what you got going over at the site?
I've been checking too. I mean, maybe that's a little bit too into the industry, but, it's something I'm proud of. So I'm looking at the different sites, all of my respect, as long as they're keeping track of their, that's why we do it on the sites like this. I mean, you can get a bunch of Twitter followers and sending out telegrams and all that, and leaked cappers and everything like that. Maybe you'll find me in there. Maybe you'll find my pick. I don't know, but hey, why not get involved with me over at Tony'sPicks.com for a very reasonable price tonight. I put all my package together, my 7 plays. I'm giving you an all-access pass tonight because of this appearance here on Tony's Picks. I want everyone to experience what all the hype is about. I've kind of been rolling since we've been doing this, Tony, with my regular packages, and they're modestly priced, usually $30, with a three play or a 5 play package. But because of this appearance on the show, I've got a 7-pack for $30. I want everyone to see what the hype is about with me. There you see it, all access premium pass tonight. 4 in baseball, 2 in hockey, 1 in I think it's 5 baseball, 1 hockey, 1 basketball is what I'm looking at right now, Tony, in that 7-pack. Maybe I can come up with a little something extra for the late games, but this is what I want to do for the subscribers, and also for anyone who wants to join me with checking out my package today, Tony. Specially priced today because of this appearance on this show. I've made it $30 for 7 plays, and I don't know. I may be easy, I may be cheap, but that's what I'm doing today. So get on board with that.
Get on board with that, guys. Use promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 20% off. Click the link in the description and get on over there. All right, let's continue on here with our rundown here on Game Day Picks. We get to the next sport, 2 from the NHL, Ramon, as we move over to the NHL here for tonight's action. Start here with game 1 here between the Panthers. Yes, they got past the Bruins. I gave the Panthers some credit there. They played them tough this year. Right, so it wasn't a big surprise to me. That was a team that had given them a little trouble. But anyway, Maple Leafs home, big favorites here, total 6.5.
Yeah, we kind of zigged and zagged through it, and I think we actually did a pretty good job handicapping that series, being on Florida in most of the right spots. Definitely a great job. I don't know, kind of bummed a little bit. Want to see Boston with that great regular season. I don't want to believe in these jinxes with the best record in the league, but I think that's the nature of the NHL a little bit. So we have the Panthers riding this momentum, but Toronto at home. This has been talk about Panthers in a good series with Boston. This one hasn't been really a great series with the Leafs. The Panthers have won just 2 of their last 11 trips into Toronto, so maybe this one could be a little tougher. We'll see. The way the Panthers are playing, I'm not sure it'll be totally difficult. This price has definitely gone up on the Maple Leafs in this one. And you see that total there. You see a 6.5 juice to the over in the playoffs. You got to be wondering what's going on. But you do have a situation where the last 7 meetings between these two in Toronto, 5-1-1 to the over. Last 15 meetings, 10-4-1 to the over. So it is the playoffs. Maybe that should change, but the bookmakers aren't swayed any. They'll give you a great price if you want to take the under. So I'm on the over here, Tony, in this one. I'm going to trust that number at 6.5. Maybe the general public might think that it is playoffs that defense can rule, but 6.5 over at almost minus 130. I believe it. I'm going to go over in this one.
All right, Ramon says over 6.5 Panthers and Maple Leafs. All right, let's continue on here on the rundown. Joined by Ramon Scott with a complete rundown of all pro sports for today. And next up, the surprising Kraken. They get it done on the road here, knocking off Colorado. They're traveling here to face the Stars in Game 1. Stars big favorites here, minus 187, total 5.5.
Yeah, we've done great on the Kraken. I mean, why not? I mean, on the road, most profitable team in the league, and they did it against Colorado again. I mean, they're just a machine on the road. They actually have not been as solid at home for some reason. I don't know if that has to do with the newer franchise or whatnot. Pressure at home, who knows? The Stars, meanwhile, they haven't actually been that great at home. But right now, Seattle 6 straight unders on the road. They're 1-9-1 to the under in their last 11 against teams that are above 500. Same holds true for Dallas. 1-7-1 to the under their last 9 at home. Long term, 16-37-6 to the under against teams above 500. At 5.5 under, minus 130. Maybe I'm just laying a bunch of juice, and that could be a detriment, but I don't feel that way. I'm going to go under 5.5 in this one, Kraken and the Stars.
All right, one goes under 5.5, Kraken and Stars tonight, 9:30 Eastern time over on ESPN. All right, Moan. We're going to get the data in there, put in for this 15-game card. As we do, give everybody a reminder what's happened over at TonySpicks.com. Flash that great record of yours. 6,652 units profit for 2023 documented.
Yeah, Tony, I do have a 7-pack today for you on Tony'sPicks.com for just $30. 5 plays in Major League Baseball, 1 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL. But I also want to mention that even though we didn't have a morning steam show on Tuesdays with Mindy and I, we are getting together right now on Tuesdays to provide the subscribers to our morning steam package a little something extra. And we're going to start doing that on Tuesdays. That's Mindy's day off, and she's not stopping handicap. You see her plays are still on the site. She's got premium picks as well for you to consider. But we have discussed the plays. We've sent a few texts back and forth, and we're selling a package on Tuesdays with our morning steam package now. Our morning steam package is a rehash of all the plays that we have on our show, which runs Wednesdays through Mondays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. Mindy and I go through the entire card. If we give a play for each game, if we agree on the play, it's a premium consensus. So what we did today, we've sent each other, what we like without cluing each other in, kind of like it was a show, and we came up with some plays. So if you subscribe to our morning steam package over there, Tony, at Tony's Picks, not only do you get the show picks, which are just a rehash, you can get them free every day. We're not trying to fool anybody here, but not everybody can watch the show. Maybe they're on vacation. Maybe they just want an easy way to get the picks. But as a bonus, on Tuesdays, Mindy and I will give you a full card of picks, and we're in there today with 8 selections. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. There's also going to be some individual packages. Those might actually be already done. Mindy has the information. She's the one that constructs those packages together. So you can still get our plays today over at Tony'sPicks.com. If they're not up already, they will be momentarily. We just finished working together about an hour ago, and she's got to get all the data in there and everything. But we're offering that as a bonus to our subscribers. We definitely get people buying those, Tony, even though we give out all the picks on the show, and we do appreciate that. So we're getting together on Tuesdays. Make sure we give you a little something for the card on Tuesday. Why not?
That's right, guys. You want to get the plays? Use that promo code TonyT at check. It'll save 20% off. Access to plays by clicking the link you see in the description. Click the all cappers tab. You'll find Morning Steam. Go ahead and get signed up on that pass. Let's continue on here. On our rundown with Ramon Scott, rundown of every pro game for today. We got the NBA, NHL already covered. If you missed those segments, just watch the replay of the show because you're getting ready for 15 games from Major League Baseball. No day action, so we're all ready for 15 games in the prime time. So let's get underway here with our rundown segment from Major League Baseball. Ramon, here we go. Top lineup here, we got Mets and the Tigers. Lucchesi, the former Padre back in the day, boy, he looks nice and fit and lean. You kind of like the look of the pitcher like that, and has produced some pretty good numbers for the year, facing Lorenzen, a well-traveled pitcher from Cincinnati to the Angels, now in the Tigers. Mets favorite here, total of 9.
Yeah, Tony, I was going to make Tony give out a pick each game, but he already does. He already has his videos, so check those out as well. I'm here to give you the picks from my perspective. Yeah, Lucchesi's definitely looking decent so far. 2.19 ERA so far, Tony. That's what the Padres were expecting, but they dealt him off, and he's had the TJ surgery, and here he is back looking good. That's kind of, in a way, the Padres have had a strategy of kind of, you're not supposed to, always use the TJ surgery, but, they've been quick to send guys off that have complained about the pain and just get it done. Usually come back a little bit stronger. Maybe this is a good move for Lucchesi and the Mets, who need starting pitching right now. Look, they got to do, with these bats, you can't lose ground right now. They're doing a great job, actually, to be 15-12 at this point. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Hopefully that pitching isn't going to start to bite them a little bit here because of the injuries that have mounted and what they've had to do to shuffle their pitching along. So Lorenzen, a 7 ERA thus far. Detroit has gone over in 3 of their last 4 games. Mets, I think Lucchesi's in a good, good spot, but I still am going to end up on the over in this game. Just the Mets, it's just the bats look too good here against Lorenzen. I just think that they'll be able to pound today. I'm going to be on the Mets here probably, but we'll go over in this one. We'll go over that total of 9 now. Woo! All right, I'll do it. Give me the over.
Total of 9 there from Ramon. Remember, this is the sharpest book in the world. Do your line shopping if you want to look for the best numbers. Obviously, that's what you want to do is line shop. 9 is pretty much now the number everywhere. So there you go from Ramon Scott. Let's continue on here on our rundown now. Major League Baseball. Let's get to the next game. We got Braves and Marlins going head to head here with the Marlins favored. Yes, they are favored against the Braves team that has had a really good home record this year. Total 7.5. Of course, Sandy Alcantara trying to get his act together here with an ERA over 5. Bryce Elder on the hill for Atlanta.
Yeah, as I said before, no panic with Sandy, I'm sure. He started to get it back together a little bit. I'm not worried at this point. I'm worried about the Marlins being 1-4 in his starts because they can't give any run support. So if you don't get Sandy at his finest, you're going to be in for a little bit of trouble there. One thing I do like about the Marlins, Tony, is their clutch play. They're 10-0 in one-run games, so that's amazing so far. With 16-13 record, they're doing awesome. But Atlanta still now already 19-10. Bryce Elder looks like another looking good so far with that 2.48 earned run average so far. Braves 12-3 on the road. You mentioned Marlins, at home pretty good, 10-6. But I think with Elder looking so good, I mentioned that ERA. He's been okay against Miami. He's had 5 starts against them, 3.5 ERA in his career. We know Sandy does pretty well against Atlanta, 2.48 career ERA and a 4-2 record. So I'm going to end up going under in this one, Tony, with Elder looking good against, certainly a weak lineup of the Marlins. At 7.5, I'll still go under with Bryce Elder and Sandy Alcantara.
All right, then we're getting some plays here from some of the chat community. We appreciate everyone's comments here. Rowan, you said under, right? Under in this one, under 7.5 here.
Yeah.
The Braves and the Marlins. All right, let's continue on here. On our rundown, joined by Ramon Scott. On Tuesdays, we do a rundown of complete pro cards here for you from Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. We've already covered NBA and NHL, so you go after our MLB segment, just reverse back to the beginning of the show and check it out. Let's continue on here. Next game up. Pirates and the Rays. Now we got odds. Now I guess we can put we got pitchers. I think it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed, and we knew Ronzi Contreras was going to go. I always list the primary pitcher, and that just looks like the lefty Josh Fleming here should get the bulk of the innings here for Tampa Bay. Rays favored -158, total 8.5.
Yeah, I don't know. Worst kept secret all night, Tony. I mean, everybody, I'm sure, had Contreras. I mean, I wrote it down well early that he looked like the starter, so I don't know what the deal was with getting the announcement out there. It was definitely the Pirates that were holding things up as far as the books. I mean, this is really, you see even books will sometimes a guesstimate or put something up there. All the books held out until the last maybe 2 hours ago before finally getting the confirmation with Ronzi Contreras, who's done a great job, obviously, with a 1.45 ERA in his last 3 starts. Pirates are 4-1 so far. I mean, there's a World Series preview, Tony. Come on. Pittsburgh 20-9, Tampa Bay 23-6. Kidding you, I think. But still, Tampa Bay, bullpen game. Javi Guerra gets the, start there as an opener. Another former Padre, by the way. Rays dominating at home, still 14-2, but Pittsburgh 11-5 on the road. Contreras has been solid, but I think the bats might end up dictating this one here. Pittsburgh's gone 4-1-1 to the over in their last 6 games. Tampa Bay 3-1 to the over in their last 4. I'm going to end up on the over in this one, Tony, with the hot Bucks and the hot Rays. The game of the night. Let's face it. Go over 8.5 tonight.
A really strong test for the Pirates going into this road game where the Rays have been very good at home. Pirates going up against an elite team here on the road. Let's see how this team does here. They'll continue on. And this one says over total of 8.5 runs in this one. You see the juice there on that one. Let's continue on the next game. We got Cubs and the Nationals going head-to-head in Game 2 of their series. Hayden Wesneski on the hill for Chicago. Trevor Williams will be on the mound here for the Washington Nationals. Cubs favored here, -135, total 8.5.
Wesneski doing a pretty good job, too. This young pitcher, 2.76 ERA in his last 3 starts. Cubs have won 4 of his 5 starts. They've also gone over in 4 of those 5 starts. Chicago, just 4-7 in their last 11. Meanwhile, for Williams, 4.44 ERA in his last 5 starts. Nationals have now lost 4 of 5. I'm going to look for some runs probably to be scored in this one with this Cubs lineup. Mostly, I would think against Williams and the Nationals. I think the Cubs will be in a good spot here on the road. I'm going to look to go over in this one. What do we got here? 8.5 over, -115. Steam came in on the over, but I'm gonna go on the other way here and look for the Cubs to put up some runs today and get this one to go over the total. I'm not sure, I do want to lay the price, I think, with Wesneski, but man, on the road it does feel a little bit uncomfortable now at what, -$1.35. We'll see. Darren's on it. It was great to see a lot of the crew here right now. Great to see Angel, Darren as well. Appreciate that stopping by today to visit us. Blake as well. You mentioned Tony.
That's right, Ramon here over the total here of 8.5 here with this Cubs and Nationals game tonight. Let's continue on here on the rundown with Ramon Scott here. We do this on Tuesdays, no morning steam on Tuesday. Ramon Scott with a complete rundown from all pro games. We covered NBA and NHL already. So after our MLB rundown, go back to the beginning of our broadcast and get those NBA and NHL picks. Let's continue on here. Next up, Guardians and the Yankees tonight. As we've got Garrett Cole. He's been on fire this year. Looks like the leader for the Cy Young against Tanner Bibby, a youngster here for the Guardians. The Yankees had that one in hand. Domingo Germán, good strikeout rate, pitched well, didn't give up any homers. So that again, Mindy had that handicap great. Guardians are not a home run hitting team. They take them out, and you think you should close in the ninth. They couldn't get it done. But anyway, tonight's a new day. Yankees favored -154, total of 7.
Yeah, definitely want to see a little bit more right now from the Yankees in a spot like that. I mean, they have one of the top bullpens certainly in the league, but interested to see here how Bibby does against this Yankee lineup. Now, Jay finally made a move to put Judge on that injured list, so an offense that has definitely been struggling. They're going to have to rely on Garrett Cole here. I mean, he's been awesome. He's Cy Young so far. 1 ERA. Yankees have won all 6 of his starts. I think Bibby, he's highly touted, so I don't think it was a fluke necessarily to come in there, throw 91 pitches in his first major league start. Did a terrific job. I think he was at everything is advertised for the Guardians in this one. So I'm going to try him on the road here. On the run line, I'll give them a shot here. They've won just 5 of their last 14 games, but they are 10-7 on the road. For some reason, the Yankees, Cole, hey, he's outstanding. They're a stiff favorite here. I get it. At -$1.55, but they are just 9-8 so far at home. I do expect this one to be a great pitcher's duel. I think Bibby is going to, be a good pitcher for the Guardians moving forward, and gets a break here with this Yankee lineup, if you will. Good hitting still, but still missing the big bats, and I'll take the Guardians on the run line today with Bibby in this one. We'll mention, Tony, both teams have gone under in 13 of their last 17 games. Both teams.
Yep, no Stanton, no Judge in line for the Yankees. Ramon likes Guardians. Take the +1.5 runs, -149. Do your line shopping, get the best numbers. Let's continue on here on the rundown. Major League Baseball. Next game up, we got Twins and the White Sox going head-to-head tonight with Joe Ryan. Has been looking great this season, but 5-0 on the year. Michael Kopech, a pitcher going in the opposite direction. Twins favor on the road, -166 with a total of 9.
Joe Ryan doesn't look like a fluke, does he? Hit me 3.09 ERA in 5 starts. Big time run support, no doubt about it. The Twins are averaging over 8 runs a game in his starts. They've gone over in all of those starts. They've also gone 4-1-1 to the over in the last 6 games. White Sox struggling here, no doubt. Kopech 6.84 ERA, 0-3 record. White Sox 1-4 in his starts so far. Maybe he can get it back together at home a little bit and have a good outing, but I just like the way Ryan has been pitching. Twins here, stiff favorite on the road. They're going to be a pretty public side here today at $1.65, $1.70. So I'm going to look to go under in this one. Mr. Over there, Blake said in the chat, but this one I'm going to look to go under because I think I'm really impressed with what Ryan's done so far. I'm going to not throw out his run support. Definitely got a Minnesota team that certainly can hit. White Sox, not so much. I'm going to take the under in this one. Kopech's had some okay starts. I don't know if he's broken right now this season, but 3.74 ERA in 4 starts against Minnesota in his career. So maybe he can hold up his end. I'll go under in this one, especially now that it's at 9.
All right, Ramon says go under here. Twins and White Sox forecast chilly night, 51 degrees, but wind blowing out 18 miles per hour. We'll see if that holds, Ramon. All right, continue on here. Next game up here, we've got the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. This is a national televised game over on TBS for tonight. We've got on the hill tonight here Kikuchi, the lefty for Toronto, Tanner Houck, the right-hander for Boston. Blue Jays favored -126 with a total of 9.5.
Kikuchi says not so fast. Don't be handing out that Cy Young Award yet to Garrett Cole. One ERA so far. One ERA in his last 3 starts. Blue Jays have won all 5 of his starts so far, and they come in Toronto having won 7 of their last 10 games. I think Houck is a better pitcher than his ERA might suggest. He's got a 5 ERA in his last 3 starts, but the Red Sox have won 4 of his 5 starts, and now the Red Sox are starting to pick up steam a little bit here, having won 11 of their last 17 games. They might be okay to get to Kikuchi a little bit here. I'm going to look for this game to go under. I think Houck is maybe a little bit better than his numbers might indicate here. He also has had 3 starts against the Blue Jays, a 2.63 ERA. Kikuchi does have a 4 ERA in 3 starts against Boston, but I think his numbers this season indicate he's definitely in a pretty good spot. We'll mention Toronto 12-3-3 to the under in their last 18 games. I'm going to go under in this one, Tony, with Toronto and Boston tonight at 9.5.
All right, Ramon says go under 9.5 here with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Let's continue on here on our rundown. Next up, we've got for you here the Orioles and the Royals are going head-to-head here with Tyler Wells on the hill. Looks like Ryan Yarbrough, the former Ray on the hill, having kind of a rough year this year.
Yeah, 0-3 so far for Yarbrough. He just has the 1 start. I mean, he's, long time. He went kind of from opener to, and stretched out a little bit. He'll throw the most innings. I don't know. They actually could come in with a different opener. I'm not sure, but he'll throw the most innings today for sure for Kansas City in this one. Look, for Kansas City right now, it's tough. I mean, 7-22 record. You're going against a Baltimore team that I don't know if they've been, I'll call them a surprise. I mean, they've won now 18 of their last 25 to improve to 19-9 after that subpar start, let's just call it for what it's worth. But Wells, in his last 3 starts, 2.5 ERA. Orioles have won 3 of those 4 games. Look for him to have a pretty good start here against this Kansas City lineup right now that have Kansas City's lost 16 of their last 20 games. Just 1-12 at home, Tony. Wow. I'm going to end up going under in this one with Wells and Yarbrough, even at 8.5, juice to the over there at -$1.20 or so. I'll go under in this one.
All right, everyone, under 8.5, Orioles and the Royals continue on here on the rundown. Next up, Angels and the Cardinals in interleague play. Patrick Sandoval putting up some good numbers this year against Steven Matz, the starter here for St. Louis. St. Louis here favored -148 with a total of 8.5.
Yeah, Sandoval's been okay, but then all of a sudden now, last three starts, an ERA over 6. So maybe he's starting to give some back here a little bit. We know Matt's, the Cardinals have not won with him yet. He's got a 6 ERA in his 5 starts so far. But Cardinals, man, they've lost 10 of their last 13 games. Angels have won 5 of 8, but I have to look at that line. I mean, look at the movement on the Cardinals here. I'm just going to trust the Sharps, I think, in this one. And maybe I'll trust my man Charles Sharp. Nice to have Charles in the chat, as well as Reno. Nice to have you guys. Anyways, Tony, in this one, I'm going to take this move very, very seriously, and I'm going to end up on the Cardinals here, even though Matz has been leaving something to be desired, certainly with his 6.23 ERA thus far, but not liking what I'm seeing from Sandoval all of a sudden here. St. Louis, they're in a bad way right now, barely playing 35% ball right now. Angels still tick over 500, but I'm going to come in with the Cardinals tonight, laying $1.50. I actually liked it very, very much at that send out, even at that opener. It's gotten a little too stiff for me here. Reno and I, we're going to be on the Cardinals today. Can't do it as a premium, $1.50, but I do think the Cardinals, the line maybe tells the story. I don't know if I can sell anybody on that, but pretty big move here for a team that's 10-19 to $1.50. Tony, take the Cards.
Ramon here on the Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals have their struggles against right-handed starters this season. Sandoval, the lefty. Let's continue on here on Game Day Picks. The rundown of Ramon Scott. A pick from every pro game today. We covered NBA and NHL earlier on, so if you want those picks, wait to the conclusion of our MLB segment, then reverse the show back to the beginning. You'll get NBA and NHL. Let's continue on here on the rundown, Major League Baseball style. Diamondbacks and the Rangers. You see that big line on the Diamondbacks. You know who's pitching tonight. Gallen here on the hill for Arizona. Gray, the starter for Texas. Arizona -148. Total sits at 8.
Yeah, is Zach Gallen our NL Cy Young this point after 1 month? I would think so. No ERA in his last 4 starts in 27 innings pitched. Arizona's 5-1 in his starts this season. So, yeah, Zach Gallen's been really strong so far. You got to think he's going to have a pretty good outing here again today. But for John Gray, I think we're getting what we always expect. Maybe expect a little bit more. Maybe he's getting a little bit older, certainly, but he's found another home in Texas to toil here. But, man, a 5.6 ERA and 18 career starts against Arizona, that's not so great. I mean, there's been some turnover there, obviously, but remember he did pitch in Colorado, so those numbers a little bit inflated. But here, Tony, I would think for me, I like it to go under with Gallen right now. I mean, he's just been outstanding. He's gone under in each of his last 4 starts. Arizona's gone under in 6 of their last 9 games. Texas has gone under in 4 of their last 5. Wasn't too long ago we were talking about all the overs that Texas was in recently. Rangers 11-5 at home, doing a nice job. They are an underdog here, certainly. Arizona tick over 500 on the road at 8-7. I'm going to look to go under here with Gallen and Gray. Maybe Gallen will bring out the best in John Gray here in this one, and also with the Arizona bats on the road. Let's go under in this one, under the 8.
All right, Ramon says go under the 8 runs here, Diamondbacks and the Rangers. Let's continue on here with the Major League Baseball rundown. Next game up here, we have the Giants and the Astros. Anthony DeSclafani on the hill for San Francisco. Hunter Brown, he's put together a pretty good year for this young rookie, looking very impressive on the mound and even going deep in games. Astros -189, total of 8.5.
Yeah, see if the Giants can figure out Hunter Brown. 2.45 ERA in his last 4 starts. Astros have won 4 of his 5 starts. He's 3-0 overall. Astros have won 8 of their last 11 games. so far. I will note that Houston has gone under in 6 of their last 8 games. For DeSclafani, numbers are okay. He's got a 3 ERA in his 5 starts so far, but the Giants have lost 4 straight now, and they're 4-10 on the road. For me, I'm going to lay a run line here. It's just gotten a little bit too out of control. That's at least 20, 25 cents move there on the Astros. I'm going to lay the run line here with Houston tonight against struggling San Francisco. I say it that way. Right now, like I said, 4-10 on the road so far this season. I'm going to lay the run line. We talked about that Houston bullpen, Tony, that it wasn't where we expected it. Well, all of a sudden, they're third in ERA. Here they come.
Yeah, here they come. Ramon here, Astros run line. We'll lay the 1.5 runs here, and you get the plus back here, plus 111. Let's continue here on the rundown. Next up, Brewers and the Rockies in this game. Brewers big favorites here of minus 158. Take back in the Rockies plus 145. Big total here of 11. Freddie Peralta on the hill for Milwaukee here. We got Ryan Feltner on the hill for Colorado. Rain expected, 37% chance of rain, 66 degrees the weather there.
Yes, we'll see how that affects things in Colorado today. Interestingly, Colorado's been kind of an under team so far. Now, at home, they are one game over. Has over 500. If you're over one game more to the, I think 4-3. They haven't played that many home games thus far. I think they played 13 home games. So I want to say they're 7-6 to the over, but they have gone under in 7 of their last 10. So still ticking to the over because they are at home. But Feldner has been decent. 0.77 ERA in his last 2 starts. He won them both. Rockies are 3-2 in his starts. For Peralta, 3.77 ERA in 5 starts so far. Brewers have gone 1-4-1 to the under in their last 6 games. Colorado, as I mentioned, they are still ticking under. 7 of their last 10 games have gone under. That's the way I'll look in this one. Has moved down. The steam came in on the under. I'll be on the under 11 runs here with Milwaukee and Colorado with those dreary conditions today.
All right, Ramon says under the total 11 here, Milwaukee and Colorado. Let's continue here on the rundown with Ron Scott, Major League Baseball, Mariners, and Athletics. Go head-to-head here. Athletics here, minus 130 here. The take back on the Athletics, plus 120, total of 8. It's Miller versus Miller. It's Miller time.
It's Miller time. Miller time. That's about the only thing you can do in an Oakland game. Probably have a few beers and just kind of like reminds me of the old days at the old San Diego Stadium where there'd be just a few hundred people in the seats. You can resurrect a baseball program. I mean, we've proven it here in San Diego with the ballpark and all that. Yeah, that park's now, 20 years old, but you can do it, Oakland. We see lots of finger pointing, Tony, where it stands, where the move stands for Oakland. One thing's for sure, Oakland right now isn't going anywhere in the standings. Bryce Miller making his much anticipated major league debut for Seattle. The numbers weren't that great so far this season, but right now for he's expected to be a major leaguer. He's here a little bit early. Hasn't been that solid this year, but last year pretty good in his starts in AA. So, pardon me. So expecting big things from Bryce Miller. He looks like he's expected to be here. He's number 2 in the Seattle organization overall prospects, number 88 overall in the major leagues. So a guy who we are expecting to be, a guy who's going to last a little bit in this league. Certainly don't look at his 6.86 ERA in his 4 start. You can look at those, but what they're talking about is the stuff, right? What he can do. So if he's here a little bit early, at least he's up against Oakland today in this one. For Mason Miller, 6.48 ERA in his first 2 starts. A's lost them both. A's have gone over in 19 of their 29 games thus far. That's the way I'm going to look in this one, with a major leaguer in his first start, and Mason Miller hasn't been too good in this one. We know Oakland just awful, right? 3-12 at home thus far. No, that's comparable to their road record. Let's go over in this one, Tony. Over the 8 with Miller and Miller.
Miller. Roan says go over 8 with Seattle and Oakland. All right, next up here, we got the Reds and the Padres. Looks like Graham Ashcraft is off to a pretty good start this year. Against Michael Wacha, a little bit of crooked numbers here for San Diego. Padres big favorites here at minus 191. The total here sits at 8.5. Looks like the weather about 58 degrees over in San Diego.
Yeah, just a calm day here as the Padres and the Reds. We saw Fernando Tatis Jr. I guess they have short memories in San Diego, Tony. I said that when the suspension came down right here on the show last year that the fans would boo Fernando Tatis Jr., and that was far from the case last night. Maybe because, they got to see him on the road a little bit. They got to see him in Mexico series. He looked pretty good. And maybe you just, boom, forget that, right? You forget all about what he did. I don't forget. I'm still going to, support him because I think he just made a dumb mistake. I don't, he needs better guidance and all that. But they were loudly cheering him. There were hardly a boo to be heard with Tatis Jr. at home. Maybe, that's your home guy. But here's a franchise that also turned their back or turned their nose, if you will, away from Ken Caminiti and all of his issues some 25 years ago. So maybe they don't. We're desperate in San Diego, so we'll do whatever we can, I guess is what it is. Ashcraft, 2.10 ERA so far in 5 starts. It's been pretty darn good. 2-0. Reds have won 3 of his 5 starts. Reds just 3-5 on the road thus far. They have gone under in 5 of 8 road games. For Wacha, you mentioned it, crooked number. I guess more like a picket fence. If you look at his last 3 starts, 0-1 with a 10.1 ERA, but those are bad numbers. But I told you what I think I expect from Wacha is innings. Padres are 4-1 in his starts, so just get through the game no matter how it is. If you can get some run support, maybe you can pitch with a little bit of a cushion. Wacha, we know he's a durable arm, so maybe that's what the Padres need in this spot. Padres are just 8-8 at home. I told everyone so far I want to support them on the road a little bit and maybe not back them so much at home right now. But for me in this one, Tony, especially at 8.5, I am going to go under in this one and figure Wacha against a Reds lineup, it can at least have a better start, and I'm going to go under 8.5 runs here with the Reds and the Padres today.
All right, Ramon says go under 8.5 runs here with the Padres and the Reds here. I'd like to shout out to everybody here in the chat room with your contributions. Yeah. They like this format here. I do too. We'll continue here on our rundown. Next game here on the board. Last game on this 15-game card here on the Major League Baseball rundown with Ramon Scott here on Tuesdays. Remember, no morning steam on Tuesdays. Ramon gives a pick on every pro game for you here on the show on Game Day Picks. If you're looking for NBA and NHL, we covered that earlier in the show. After our segment here, just rewind the video back to the beginning for those picks. Phillies and Dodgers, ESPN Plus here features 2 lefties. Strom on the hill for Philadelphia, Urias on the hill for the Dodgers. We have Dodgers here minus 145. Total sits at 8.
Yeah, well, Mindy said, I get through the picks so fast. I said, well, yeah, Mindy, I have to talk to all my friends in the chat on our show. Philadelphia and the Dodgers, Tony Strom, another Padre. How about this? Strom doing a nice job with the Phillies so far, a 3 ERA in his last 4 starts. He's 3-2 in his. The Phillies are 3-2 in his 5 starts. He's 2-2 overall. Has had a couple of starts, but 20 innings pitched against the Dodgers in his career, allowing just 3 earned runs. Phillies starting to find it a little bit, Tony. 10-5 in their last 15 games to even their mark now at 500. Dodgers, Julio Urias, want to see more right now. A little bit worried with that 8.5 ERA and 0-3 record. Dodgers have won the other 3 games where he didn't get a decision, so bullpen's come in and done a nice job. Big time discount here on the Dodgers. It looks like, Tony, down to $1.45. The send out was as high as $1.85, but maybe because of Urias's numbers. Maybe the public's a little bit worried as well. They look at Strom's numbers; they're pretty decent so far. Still, Tony, Dodgers 8-3 in their last 11 games, 10-6 at home. I'm sure they're coming around into form. Not that worried about them. In fact, it looks like I said. A discount, big time discount. If you like the Dodgers, interested in some of these favorites, I think, looking at the move, maybe the Phillies are the public side. I don't think it's incredibly sharp action. If anything, the steam has appeared to come in on the under here in this one, and that's where I'm going to go in this one. Phillies have gone under in 10 of their last 13 games. Dodgers are producing overs, but I'm expecting Urias. I don't think he's broken. I just think he's off to a poor start. Maybe tonight he can get back on the beam a little bit. See Phillies getting that lineup healthy and starting to put something together. Had a good series in Houston. I think this pretty good series right here. All of a sudden, I'm going to take the under tonight.
Ron says,
despite all the runs last night, right, Tony?
Yeah, well, it is a situation where the Dodgers, I think that people have kind of caught on, is the Dodgers are just terrible against left-handed pitching. Just hitting 173 against lefties. I think one of the bigger drivers is not only Urias' form, but the fact that the Dodgers just don't hit left-handers very well. It's kind of very poor for them against lefties. They remember, totally different lineup than last year. You used to be able to have the starters behind starters, right? That was the Dodgers' key there to the regular season successes. They were able to really, if they're weak in one area, okay, we can't hit lefties. Let's put up guys that can, right? That's really the situation. That's a big problem.
Look, I know it's kind of a crude handicap. I mean, but you got to start somewhere. And I've said it before. When I just look at the pitching matchups and I see two left-handers, I start with under and I try to work from there. And if I go over, that's after after the handicap is done. But when I see two left-handed starters, I immediately think, well, let me look at the numbers and how we can go under in this game.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, the positives here with Urias is about a 26% strikeout. The walks are unlimited, but again, it's the hard contact and the velocity down a little bit. But that's correctable just with more work there. Ramon here, under 8 here with that Phillies and Dodgers. That concludes here our MLB rundown. Ramon here as we're able to. Yeah, we got through all the games. All the games are right. Everything is through all 15 games. We got you 2 games from the NHL, 2 games from the NBA. So if you missed the NBA and NHL, you guys just go back to the beginning of the show and get those NBA and NHL video picks. But Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com right now. Of course, we put up this great record for Ramon, 6,652 units of profit. That is all documented over at Tony's Picks. Top unit producer, no doubt. That's based on 100 units of wagers. 15 on the board MLB, 2 NHL, 2 NBA. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I'm flirting with that 7 dimes number, Tony. We got over it quite a bit. Now we're chasing it a little bit again, but I don't know. You saw it last, I don't know, must have been, Tony, 7 or 10 days ago, I said the same thing when I was basically stuck down there at 55, and I'm like, I got to get back to 6. So let's get rolling tonight with a 7-pack of games that I'm offering for just $30 over at Tony'sPicks.com. That Tuesday night all access premium pass, and I've specially priced it. I thought about this, Tony doesn't pay me by the word, even though I've been with him here for 50 minutes today. I work on commissions, you guys. So please consider this all-access premium pass for $30 right there. I've packaged 7 games up. I rarely do that. I usually do a 3-pack or a 5-pack. My regular subscribers know how I do it, but because of this appearance on this show, said I'm going to come in with all my games. 7 plays right there for Tuesday night for $30 over at Tony'sPicks.com. And it's not even that much. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages, including my 7-pack right there. May come up with a little bit something maybe for late night action, Tony. I really just had games through the early evening. I wasn't sure on the late night. We talked about some of the matchups here, so might just roll with this 7-pack tonight, see if we can get another big night here at Tony'sPicks.com. 5 in Major League Baseball, 1 in the NBA, and 1 in the NHL currently. Usually a little bit heavier in those playoff sports, but like I said, Mindy and I are involved in a couple of games as well, and I do want to promote that package as well. So Mindy and I, we do have our morning steam show every 6 days a week, Wednesdays through Mondays, but we've gotten together and put together a package for our Tuesday subscribers, and you can get that package, those packages of plays over at Tony'sPicks.com, or subscribe to our morning Steam pack to get those Tuesday plays. Mindy doesn't take the full day off, Tony. She's got selections and everything, but we just let her get a little rest. And you see also, don't forget my all sports pass there, 7-day, 3-day, 30-day, or yearly. And I also have broken it down a little bit into the sports, into these playoffs, made them a little bit cheaper, and maybe I'll even reduce the price now that we're in the conference semifinals in there, in case you just want to get a particular sport like the hockey, which has been so incredibly solid for me this season as well. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. If you're doing fine, if you're watching our show, you're making winning picks, you join our Discord. We see your tickets in there. If you're doing fine, no problem. If not, swallow your pride. Come join me a little bit. Just subscribe to a package. Let me show you what the hype is about. Tony isn't fabricating these numbers. I enter in these picks into the back end of Tony'sPicks.com, just like it would at an online sports book. I put the play in. I also give you a 4-paragraph write-up of each game, and then the plays are graded, and that's how it's come out with this great run so far since January 1st, 4 months in, 6,500 units of profit based on 100-unit plays. That's basically what lay the juice on a favorite to win 100, lay 100 to win plus X on the dog, and that's the way we grade it here at Tony's Picks. So basically up 65 units over the last 4 months at Tony'sPicks.com. So if you're just having any struggles at all, please just consider the package. It's profit guaranteed. You'll always leave our website with a winning experience here, even if it takes a day, if for some reason we don't profit on that first package, which we quite often do. Like I said, I'm graded on commission. I get a big fat 0, Tony, if I don't win on these packages, and I can tell you that a lot of times I kind of grade it as like a winning streak on my packages when they all cash there. That's how we do it at Tony'sPicks.com. So the pressure's on me to produce the winners, and that's why I work so hard on trying to get these winners up there in a timely fashion, but also make sure there are solid picks. So not just throwing darts here, Tony, like I promised that I will be doing on Friday when I give you my Kentucky Derby picks. I will be throwing darts, and not to say I'm just throwing my hands up, Tony, but that's the way to handicap the Kentucky Derby.
That's right. Big payouts there, no doubt, guys. Get everyone got over at Tony's Picks. That 7-pack on the board right now. Affordably priced, $30. Get on board with it. And, of course, use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. Also, Ramon mentioned those long-term passes, 3, 7, or 30-day all-sports pass. It's within your budget. There's also 1-year all-sports pass. Ramon has really proven himself over what we are here, 16-plus months here on the site where he's been producing great results. So get on board with Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. Whatever, that 1-month pass gets the remainder here. We'll get you all, 1 month here of NBA plays, NHL plays, as well as picks for Major League Baseball, peripheral sports. Like he'll delve into tennis, he'll delve into UFC. There's always a UFC card. Whenever there's a UFC card, there's always UFC picks from Ramon. So if UFC's on there, you'll get those picks from Ramon. Sometimes he delves into Bellator as well. So we'll keep an eye there. Of course, maybe some soccer, European soccer, MLS. That's also part of the 1 month pass. If there's occasional plays there, those will also be included, as well as the late steam plays. We allow our cappers to post plays late in our system. Always log in at 11 a.m. Eastern time for the members' plays, but we also allow our cappers to post plays late. If any pick they put in between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time is emailed directly into your email box. That's part of these long-term passes that you see there in yellow. Not the ones in the orange, because they're already fixed. You get 3 days, you get 3 picks, you get 3 picks, you get 5 picks, you get 5 picks. But the ones in yellow are the long-term passes. Include your members' picks. You log in by 11 a.m. Eastern time for, and then the late steam that are sent directly to your inbox we allow our cappers to post plays late because we have the technology, we have the programmers, we have the know-how to get this done, and we know you guys like those late plays, and our cappers like to give them out because I don't like hearing, I've said this before in other shows, the other shows that say, I like this play, but I had it in pocket, I couldn't give it out to my customers. We don't want that nonsense here. Late plays are allowed in our system. We've programmed it to do it. It's not that hard to do it. I don't know why no one else does it, but we do it for you guys because we know we want you guys to get the best plays, and we want our cappers to as well, right? Because they want to give out the plays to their customers late, especially with injury situations, pitching changes, lineup changes, what have you. You read the line, hey, this doesn't make sense. This player's not worth this much, or maybe they didn't put enough. The line's not high enough. Whatever the case, you're going to get those late steam plays. So go ahead and get signed up for that long-term pass. Use that promo code TonyT. We'll do the math here on the 1-month pass. You save $66 off that 1-month pass when you use that promo code TonyT. Check out access Ramon's page by clicking the link in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and it'll land right on Ramon's page and get signed up. All right, Ramon. More content from you over on the Twitter account. We've set up for you, Tony6Ramon. They'll find out a little bit more about your service as well on that account. Morning Steam back tomorrow with a show. That's your Monday on Wednesday. So that's they'll be back on with Mindy, and of course a little more content from you over on the Discord.
Yeah, Tony, I'll definitely be back with Mindy tomorrow on the Morning Steam. We'll preview all the games from the playoff sports as well as Major League Baseball. Also, I'll be over in the Discord, maybe give a few winners there as well. Coming at you tonight on the Twitter account, also at Tony's Picks Ramon. I'll try to find another place somewhere. Really, I know what I'm focusing in on. It's probably going to be in the Cubs-Nats game. Probably be my Twitter pick. So if you're interested in maybe the side there, I think that's what's going to end up going up over there. Took a day off, I'm afraid, from my embedded picks. I had some errands I had to kill today, so was running a little bit behind, maybe on my half day off, if you will, here on Tony's Picks. But we'll get that back for you tomorrow. And also, yeah, I've got my MMA podcast coming up. It's done on our network. If I could talk about it a little bit, Tony, though, you can find me on Twitter and join us tonight previewing the weekend card. You mentioned the UFC, Tony. I went 3-2 last week, kept my winning streak going with my UFC picks. And this week, this Saturday night, they'll be back in New Jersey for the first time in 4 years for a championship bout between champion Aljamain Sterling and elite wrestler Henry Cejudo, a bantamweight bout from the Prudential Center in New Jersey. That's this week's UFC 288 card. A big one here in that one, and a nice undercard as well with former championship challenger Gilbert Burns going up against Bilal Muhammad in a co-main event that is also actually scheduled for 5 rounds. So should be a good one this week in the UFC. Be looking for those selections as well after I consult with my experts on my podcast, our podcast tonight, with my top expert over there on Twitter. So please check that out. So Tony, appreciate it very much. Great job, great show. And be back with Mindy tomorrow. We saw her out there, Tony, at her event last week, regaling with a national championship trophy and watching the games. So she gets some time, and we'll be back tomorrow with our show for another week of Morning Steam. But like I said, we do have plays. We went through them. So Mindy and I got some plays. You can subscribe to them. Make sure you check it out if you're interested. Believe she put some packages together now, and you can find those on Tony'sPicks.com. Mindy and I's Morning Steam Consensus on Tuesdays. We sell it over at the website. So appreciate that.
There you go, indeed, guys. So check it out over there, over on the site. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you to all of our regulars in the chat. Recognize just about everybody from our morning show, but also I want to shout out a couple of new people I recognize. New people. Reno, good to have you as well. Charles Sharp in there as well. Appreciate any new viewers or people that just hadn't commented before. Appreciate you very much, and everybody in the chat. Jamal and Blake and the gang.
That's right. Just a reminder to all the new folks out there, this rundown is conducted Wednesdays through Wednesday through Monday here on the Morning Steam Show with Ramon and Mindy. Mindy also contributes there with the rundown of all the pro sports, so make sure you make a note of it. 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesdays through Mondays. We do it here for Tuesday for Ramon because they're dark. There's no Morning Steam on Tuesday, but you like this format, check it out. Wednesday through Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, so make sure to like, subscribe. It'll be Ramon hosting with Mindy as they're both giving picks on the complete card. All right, Ramon, have a great rest of the day. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, with here on Game Day Picks Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Be live with us. Get the plays in real time, if you would. All right, let's continue on here. It's time for my pick. So let's get my game information up for you right now as we're looking at this one here. Let's get my full score. Let me see. What do we have? Where do I have my full odds at here? Here we go. We're looking at this Guardians and Yankees game tonight. We see the line here showing Yankees favored minus 159. The total sits here at 7. And I'll be on the under in this game. There's no doubt about that. Guardians and Yankees under 7. Remember the note the lineup here. No Stanton, no Judge in the lineup here for the Yankees. And of course, both teams have really been struggling offensively. And I like what I'm seeing here from Garrett Cole, as he said. The Cy Young Award winner for April, right? His ERA just put 1.11. He's been putting up some really, really solid numbers this year. I'm trying to look here at his numbers here for Cole. 6 starts, ERA 1.11, WHIP of 0.84, a strikeout rate of 29%. Both teams really struggling at the plate, but getting great work from each bullpen here. And Bibby will be on the hill in his 3 AAA starts, put up some impressive numbers here. So we're going under 7 here with the Guardians and the Yankees. Guys over at TonySpace.com have a 4-pack up for you right now. 3 premium plays on a 3-pack and 1 best bet standalone for Major League Baseball. So get on board with that. Also, you can go long-term with me. 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like you go over to our handicapper page and you make that purchase. Don't forget the promo code TonyT at checkout, and you'll save 20% off. You can access our page by clicking the link in the description. Click the All Cappers tab. Go ahead and get signed up. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition of Game Day Picks. Love to thank everybody here in the chat for their contributions. We got all the comments up on the screen today, so appreciate your contributions. All right, that's going to do it for our show. Let's bring in Ramon. We're going to wave goodbye to you guys. You guys make it a great afternoon, and we'll catch up with you again here tomorrow on Game Day Picks.